Hi, this is Trey Pastor, and welcome to, I guess, week 3 of my film series review, volume 2. Okay, and for this week, the movie that I reviewed out of this set of the Ultimate Gangster collections will be the movie The Petrified Forest. Okay, this movie came out in 1936. Of course, it stars Leslie Howard, Betty Davis, Dick Moran, and in a star-making performance, Humphrey Bogart. Okay, a little backstory about this movie, The Petrified Forest. It was originally a play, and Leslie Howard and Humphrey Bogart were originally in the stage play. And when it got adapted to be a movie, Leslie Howard's character, Leslie Howard owned the rights to it, and Warner Brothers was going to produce it. Now, Warner Brothers didn't want Humphrey Bogart for the part. They wanted Edward G. Robinson for the part. But Leslie Howard said he wouldn't do the movie unless Humphrey Bogart played his part that he did on stage, the role of gangster Duke Manatee, or Manatee, I guess. So, you know, Humphrey Bogart was so grateful because at the time, he had played a bunch of parts and he was really looking for his big break in Hollywood. And this movie actually gave him his big break. And he was so grateful for Leslie Howard for fighting for him to play that part that he named his second daughter Leslie in tribute to Leslie Howard, fighting for him to play the part. Anyway, this movie, like I said, takes place out in the desert, and it's basically about this place, a small diner in the desert that's run by, you have the father, you have the daughter, Gabby, played by Betty Davis, and you have the father, and you have the grandfather, who's an old, cantankerous kind of guy. They live out, out in the middle of the desert, and of course, Gabby, is like she's a dreamer and she wants to be an artist. And her mother was a French lady who married her father, and she ran off and basically left them, ran away from the family. And Gabby longs to escape the diner herself and live as an artist and travel. But of course, she can't do it because she's kind of stuck there at the diner. Okay, and along, you know, and also she has there's a guy that works at the diner named Boz, who is like I guess a gas jockey, gas pump jockey, who kind of hits on her, named Boz, who hits on her, all the time, and is saying that he's crazy for her and all that. But she's not really interested in him that way. She really wants to get out and escape. And into their lives, into this diner walks a character named Alan Squire, played by Leslie Howard. He's kind of a drifter, a roamer, and kind of a romantic idealist and stuff. And you can tell him and Betty kind of hit it off. They hit it off at once when they meet, and they talk about all these different things. And Betty and opens up. Oh, Gabrielle, that's her. They call her Betty, but no, Betty Davis. I'm sorry, Betty Davis. Excuse me. Her name is a character's name is Gabrielle. I'm talking about Betty Davis, but her character, like I said, they hit it off, and you could tell that Gabriel is enamored of this guy Alan, but of course he wants to basically travel out west, and he has really no interest in staying. Okay, and he gives Gabriel some little life advice. Okay, but into this little small diner, or into their lives, comes desperate escaped gangster Duke Manatee, played by Humphrey Bogart. Him and his few of his henchmen, they pull up to the diner basically and hold everybody hostage while they're waiting. He's waiting for his girl and a couple of guys, his partners, to meet them at the diner so they can head for the border. And of course, at the same time, since he's escaped, convict, he has the police. There's people looking for him, of course. And into this mix, like I said, while they're waiting, they have these most interesting conversations between, because there's other people because there's a scene earlier where Duke Manatee basically they basically rob this couple, this bickering couple, and their chauffeur and of course Alan, who actually leaves at one point and hitches a ride with this couple, but they actually get robbed by Duke, and he put off into the side of the road where he takes their car from them, and then they wind up back at the diner, and basically where you have these conversations going back and forth between all the characters. And Duke is played by Humphrey Bogart, is just a character in this movie. He's just a real tough guy gangster who doesn't take man of few words and doesn't take crap from anybody. Okay, and you know he's in charge. And at the same time, you have Alan there, Alan Squire there, who's, like I said, he's kind of a romantic idealist who with no money, and who, like I said, who Gabrielle falls for. And like I said, he has interesting conversations with Duke and the other, other hostages that are there. And it's a real good character study of people and all of these different types and stuff, and people with their dreams and what they want to be and what they hope to be, okay, and what happens to them in life. And it's a really good character story. It takes place, like I said, it basically is like a play. I can see why it was, why this movie, was a play originally, because the setting, like I said, is in one room in a diner where you have all these different types of people and they interact with each other and stuff, and it's a desperate situation, and the acting is just top notch. And this movie, like I said, gave Humphrey Bogart finally his big break and made him a movie star, which would, like I said, he was struggling before this, and this movie really catapulted him to, to being a star and to getting better roles. And this movie is just really, really good. And like I said, it's black and white, made in 1936. Like I said, a really good gangster flick, like I said, because Humphrey Bogart's character of Duke Manatee is, like I said, he's no nonsense. It doesn't take much. He's a man of few words, and you can tell even the way Humphrey Bogart walks, the way he carries himself. He's a real tough guy gangster, and you know not to cross him. And it's just a really good character story. Like I said, it has a little bit of humor in there as well and stuff, but it's a really good drama, and you have that romance aspect in it as well. And I don't want to spoil all the conversations that happen in there, because the conversations that happen in that diner are really, really interesting, and you definitely should watch this movie to see them, because it's just a really good show of acting of all the different characters in that one setting, okay, and Humphrey Bogart being the top one in this, okay. So I would give Petrified Forest, I would give a 7.5, okay. I think that would be a good rating for that. The Ultimate Gangsters, the Petrified Forest, a 7.5. Just good acting all around from everybody all around. You got that little bit of romance, a little bit of humor in it, and like I said, and then you have the serious drama of these people getting trapped with these desperate gangsters, and it's really good. And Humphrey Bogart really nails the part, and Leslie Howard is really good as well as this romantic kind of I was gonna say bum, but he's not a bum. He's kind of like a down on his luck kind of romantic idealist. And like I said, him and Betty Davis's character, they kind of bond with each other, and it's really good to see this acting all the way around. So again, Petrified Forest, I give it a 7.5. Okay, so that's the third movie in my film series, Volume 2 for the Ultimate Gangster Collection. And the next movie that I'll be reviewing next week will be the last movie in the collection. It's White Heat, okay? 1949's White Heat with James Cagney. Okay, so tune in for that. Okay, if you've seen it, maybe you've seen Petrified Forest, let me know what you think of it. Feel free to leave comments down below. Or if you want to see it based on my description, feel free to leave comments down below. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.